Welcome to a place of healing, where compassionate hands work tirelessly to bring comfort and care. Hospitals are where we entrust our lives to the dedicated professionals who ensure our well-being. But what if behind one of those caring smiles lurked a dark, chilling secret? Meet Charles Cullen, a nurse who seemed just like any other, quiet, hardworking, and reliable. Yet beneath that calm exterior was a man who harbored a terrifying urge, one that would make him one of the most notorious figures in medical history. In this video, we'll dive into the twisted story of Charles Cullen, a man who turned the trusted role of a nurse into something truly sinister. How did he get away with it for so long? And what drove him to commit such unspeakable acts? Join us as we uncover the shocking truth behind the case of Charles Cullen, a nurse's deadly revenge. Charles Cullen was born in West Orange, New Jersey in 1960, the youngest of 8 children. His childhood was marred by tragedy. His father died before he was even a year old, and his mother passed away when he was just 17. These early losses would shape a life that spiraled into darkness. Despite the hardships, Cullen sought purpose. He enlisted in the U.S. Navy, but his time there was fraught with issues: unauthorized submarine access, odd behavior, and even a suicide attempt. After being discharged, he turned to nursing, a profession where he could finally exert control. But this control would soon morph into something terrifying. Cullen's career in nursing began in the late 1980s, working at St. Barnabas Medical Center in Livingston, New Jersey. At first glance, he was an unremarkable nurse, quiet, reliable, the kind of employee who blended into the background. But it didn't take long for strange incidents to surface. Patients under his care began dying unexpectedly. The deaths were written off as unfortunate but routine. Hospitals failed to see the pattern. Cullen would move from job to job, leaving a trail of unexplained deaths in his wake. No one noticed, or perhaps no one wanted to notice, the grim tally of lives lost wherever he went. Cullen's method was chillingly simple. He would administer lethal doses of medications like digoxin, insulin, or epinephrine, substances that in small doses could save lives but in large amounts were lethal. He knew how to avoid suspicion, manipulating records and picking victims whose deaths might not raise alarms, often elderly or terminally ill patients. His killings spanned over 16 years and multiple states, from New Jersey to Pennsylvania, and still, no one connected the dots. Was it a lack of communication between hospitals? Or was it the horrifying possibility that no one wanted to believe a nurse could be capable of such evil? By the early 2000s, Cullen's reign of terror was still unchecked until he joined Somerset Medical Center in New Jersey. Here, his ego would finally betray him. An unusual spike in patient deaths caught the attention of the hospital's staff, and the pharmacy records showed something disturbing. Cullen had been ordering drugs that were not prescribed to any of his patients. 2 nurses, Amy Loughran and another colleague, took their concerns to the authorities. With the help of a computer programmer, they were able to link Cullen to several suspicious deaths. The investigation intensified, and finally, on December 12, 2003, Charles Cullen was arrested. Cullen confessed to killing at least 40 patients, though authorities believe the actual number could be much higher, possibly over 400. He claimed he was trying to alleviate suffering, but his actions speak to something far darker. In 2006, Cullen was sentenced to multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole. His case led to significant changes in the medical community, including better communication between hospitals and stricter protocols for monitoring medication. Yet the question remains, how did one man get away with murder for so long? Charles Cullen's story is a grim reminder that sometimes evil can hide in plain sight. The very institutions meant to protect and heal us can become hunting grounds for those with malevolent intent. While Cullen may now be behind bars, the scars he left on countless families remain. As we close this chapter on one of America's most prolific serial killers, we're left with the haunting realization that trust, once broken, is difficult to repair. The legacy of Charles Cullen is not just a story of death, but of the fragility of life and the systems we rely on. So next time you find yourself in a hospital, take a moment to think. Behind every caring face, there lies a story. But for the sake of all, let's hope it's one of compassion, not revenge. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that delve into the dark corners of true crime.